It's another day here to take a trip in the old Beach 18. We're going to leave out of Fort Wayne International, just doing a quick company run on my charter, and we're going to run down to Dayton. So we'll get in cabin, start clicking some things, get the life coming to this old beach. I love this aircraft. It's a fun one to fly. We don't have our... Got to be very careful, because if you're not paying attention and you go over here to this, just like something on the side screen over here, you'll notice that click spot for this window is active. It turns blue, and I've lost the flight many times over that. So we're going to try not to do that today. But let's see here. Before we go too far, I need to make sure that we're good in the charter system. Let me go ahead and accept this job. The job is hopping. You might see a little off-screen stuff here, so I'm sorry. And we're probably going to jump to a different location here on the map. Begin the job. Oh, look at that. It put us right on the runway. That's awesome. Alright, and we're going to tilt the board. And alright, so now we are not where we want to be, but we're going to get fired up here. And you can see that our switches are flipping here for our magnetos. Go ahead and open this cover. We're going to put a little bit of fuel up. There we go. Our fuel's up. We'll bring our props back as we start. Alright, we're going to start on number 2, which is over there. Clear, clear, clear. Here we go. Oh, wait. It might help to turn on the batteries. It's been a long week, so just bear with me. There we go. Clear on 2. Here comes prop. Still a little on the loud side of things, so I may have to go into my audio mixer here and fix that. That's not what I wanted. Anyways, it's a beautiful Saturday morning here in Dayton. Volume mixer, there we go. We're going to bring this down a little bit. There we go. And bring the simulator up a little bit. Alright, so we've got some sound there. Let's get this all rocking and rolling. We'll go ahead and flip over to the other prop. There's the other engine here. Clear, clear, clear. Hit the starter. Close the covers. Alright, both props are coming up. Now, if I don't do that, alright, just for shigiggles, we're going to pull off the runway. So that way if other traffic comes in while we're doing our run up, we're not in their way. I don't know if this is a product of the new SimBrief integration, of it dropping me on the runway, but I had told it ahead of time not to do that. So I don't know. I may have to ask in Navigraph how we fix that. But very cool thing having SimBrief integration directly into our flight planning for Microsoft Flight Simulator. I am digging that because I use SimBrief and Navigraph frequently on some of my other flights. Alright, let's get our Garmin up and running. Okay, Sky Vector's going to show me, yep, we want to be on nav radio of 117.8, so we're going to change that. 117.8, okay. So now we're active on Fort Wayne, as you can see here. And we're going to want to go out of here on V55, which is a course of 154, so we're going to switch that around. 154, and right there. Okay. Now, the other thing we want to make sure that we're doing, because I forget this sometimes, is making sure that we are aligned here to here, and we're not. We're a little off, so I'm using my buttons. I'm going to switch it just a little bit. That looks about right. All right. So we're good to go. Let's give it a notch of flaps. Looking around, we have plenty of, yeah, we're on our main tank. And our main tanks, oh, plenty. Okay, we've got about 450 gallons in the airplane right now. So, just take a quick look outside around us. Beautiful as it is. Let's go back inside. And let's see. Yep, there we go. Now we're cooking with electricity. I got the head tracker working. We're going to come about.
Clearance delivery Beechcraft, November, Tree 20 Sierra, Mike IFR, to Dayton, ready to copy.
Beechcraft, November, Tree 20 Sierra, Mike, is cleared to Dayton Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 5 climb and maintain 11,000 feet. Departure frequency is 127.2 squawk 5 231.
Clearance delivery, please say again transmission for Beechcraft 0 Sierra Mike.
Well, that was the wrong button, but in the meantime, I'm going to head on my panel here where you can't see it.
Takeoff runway 5 climb and maintain 11,000 feet.
272.
Departure frequency is 127.2 squawk 5 231.
Okay, and we're going to go ahead and acknowledge it now.
Beechcraft November, Tree 20 Sierra, Mike cleared to Dayton Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 5 climb and maintain 11,000 feet. Departure on 127.2 squawk 5 231.
Okay, so we have our departure frequency in there.
Read that correct. Contact ground on 121.9. Good day.
Alright, so
Ground Beechcraft November, Tree 20 Sierra, Mike with Echo ready to taxi IFR.
try to get through all our stuff here.
Beechcraft November, Tree 20 Sierra, Mike taxi 2 and hold short of runway 5 via taxiway Echo Juliet cross runway Tree 2 Juliet Bravo cross runway 27 Bravo Alpha.
I have a bad feeling that I'm on the wrong spot here. Yep, let me close in. Acknowledge that.
Taxiing hold short runway 5 using taxiway Echo cross runway 2 Tree Delta cross runway Tree 2 Bravo cross runway 27 Bravo Alpha cross runway 5 Bravo Beechcraft 0 Sierra Mike.
That's a lot. let me open my charts here. At least give me an idea of which way we're supposed to go. Alright, unload that. We want the reciprocating. So, import flight from SimBrief. Yep. Everything I'm doing is off screen right now. I apologize. We're looking out the window there. Alright, so we want airport, or runway 5. Okay. Which we're at the opposite end of. Alright, so we're gonna cross the taxiway here, or cross the runway here on the taxiway. Shut off the head tracker for a minute here so we can see where we're going. Alright, so taxiway Echo, cross runway 23 Delta. That's us right here. They'd be coming from that way, either landing or taking off. We've got clearance to cross it, so we're going to do that. We're going to cross. Try to keep my speed a little down, but still not take forever. Then we're going to make a left-hand turn here, Delta, I'm sorry. And we got our cross runway 32 at Delta. Okay. Even though they've given me the cross, I'm still going to stop and look. All right, so we're rolling here. Keep this thing pointed down the taxiway. We have 9 VIP passengers on board for this flight today. And we're crossed on runway 32 there. We're going to next come up to runway 9. That's a ways up here though. Anyways, it's a beautiful Saturday morning. Let me get rid of this for right now so we can see what we're doing. It's a beautiful Saturday morning here in Ohio. Temperature in the mid-50s. A little chilly, but it's all right. Had a nice breakfast this morning. Got to get the ooh, had to change my altitude setting. Got the griddle out this morning. Up here we are at runway 9. We are cleared to cross 9 by previous information. Anyways, got the griddle out this morning. Cooked up some bacon for me, the wife, and the son, and had a nice tasty breakfast. Finally got rid of that headache that's been dogging me all morning. Might do some stuff today. I'm not exactly sure. I don't really have a plan, and the best part about my plan is to not have a plan. Looks like there's something up there in the road. I think it's probably a follow me car. We're getting down here to the end of the runway. Once we do, we'll stick our nose out there and see what we can come up with. Yep. This is just a castering tail wheel, so any kind of crosswind, which I believe we have. Yeah, we got a 3-knot crosswind and an 8-knot headwind, so it's a little. Well, no, that's not right. It didn't have the right runway in it. We went runway 5, so we have an 8-knot crosswind and a 3-knot headwind. That'll be really fun when the tail comes up. The rudder's gonna love, or the vertical's gonna love that. Dayton, however, looks to be a little more spicy. We'll see what the ATIS shows us when we're on our way to there. We're going to go all the way down here to the blast pad, to the threshold, and hopefully be able to take off from there. Is that a baggage car? No, just some guys, 2 tractors. I don't want to say what they're doing. Looks kind of suspect to me. This entire time I've just been working with prop and rudder to steer us. Haven't been doing I did a little bit of differential braking, but not a lot. You notice we dropped a bunch of speed here. But that's okay because we're coming up on our turn for the runway. Really like these old classics. They're fun. They're not overly complicated. You can do all kinds of stuff with them. Now, we have an initial clearance to climb to 11,000 feet. It's pretty high considering we're only going 70 miles. But we're gonna accommodate that. Here we are at Alpha 5. I think sometime soon I'm going to buy the real taxiways for North America. I don't know. I guess the real question is some decisions have to be made. Right, so this is for those of you who don't know, I'm flying in Microsoft 2020. It looks like that van's going to take off. That's awesome. I'm not sure why he's on the runway. Anyways, this is Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020. Now, 2024 comes out in about 8 days or so. And there's been a lot of hubbub about it. Obviously, people are excited to see it. Some people don't know why they can't just continue to mod this one for perpetuity. Hold on, let's do what we need to do here. Tower on, yep. And we're ready. So we should have asked for that before we came out.
Beechcraft November, Tree 20 Sierra, Mike ready for IFR departure, runway 5.
Beechcraft November, Tree 20 Sierra, Mike altimeter, Tree 0.3, wind 126 at 9er. Cleared for takeoff, runway 5.
Wind 126. Wow, that's almost straight cross. Okay.
Cleared for takeoff, runway 5, Beechcraft November, Tree 20 Sierra, Mike.
Which means we have to give some right aileron, as you'll see here. Maybe. We have to give some right aileron and right rudder. Once that tail comes up, it's going to want to push over. We'll see. Here we go. We're on the roll. Already it's wanting to do stuff. See? I have to give left rudder. Whoa. Yeah, I know, Stallhorn. Stallhorn doesn't like it. And I don't blame it. And that's a really terrible takeoff that you're watching. But we're in the air. Wow. Positive rate here, so we're going to bring the gear up. We're going to start throwing in some trim immediately. Wow. Alright, so we're on our way up to 11,000. We're going to vertical speed that at 1100. We're going to wait till we get to a certain point here before we go too crazy. We're up high enough, I think we can bring up the flaps.
Beechcraft 0 Sierra, Mike contact departure on 127.2.
They're up.
Good day.
Alright, so we're going to acknowledge that.
Going to 127.2, Beechcraft 0 Sierra, Mike.
And then we're going to go ahead and switch it. Contact departure.
Beechcraft November, Tree 20 Sierra, Mike is at 1,600 feet, climbing 11,000 feet.
Interesting. There's Fort Wayne. Alright, so whoa. Just like that, the autopilot shut off. Alright, we're going to make the left turn now and skirt down the runway. Looks like a gravel pit right there. Wow. Airspeed really came alive. This would be a good idea to get my feet off this. Well, I don't understand here. It's being kind of wonky. I already got... So before I stall this out, which I'm trying to do right now, alright, so now we can go ahead and go to our course here. Let's go, we're going to turn left now till we find our course. Alright, so now that I'm up in the air, I'm not going to crash the airplane with 12 souls on board. There's Fort Wayne. Took off from down here, went out, so we're now heading across till we get to line that needle up, which will be coming soon. As I started to say, Microsoft flights, there's inner marker. Okay, nav. No, 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 no. We want to go this way. Oh, damn it. Okay. Anyways, Microsoft Flight Simulator is coming out 2024 here in a few days. Every time I do this, I have to reset that. For some reason, let's just do, for right now, let's go heading mode till we get to where we want to be. Okay, so now I can kind of hands off here. Going a little goofy. I don't understand why it's doing that. It should settle down. Probably because of the crosswind component. But anyways, so as we, I'm going to turn the head tracker back on here. Now let's see how that goes. As we look around, you can see this looks remarkably like, you know, north central Indiana. Looks fairly decent. So I really like this sim. However, there are performance limitations that it comes with it. This doesn't take advantage of multi-core technology in processors. So as a direct result, it can get kind of stuttery sometimes. Which is, at the best, problematic, you know, especially if you're on, like, landing, you final. Now we're getting there. And now we're seeing our course deviation markers starting to come in, which means soon we're going to go straight to nav mode, and we did. It's going to turn left, then it's eventually going to turn right, and we're going to follow that purple line. So, anyways, gotta watch out for that click spot. I'm over on my other screen now. As I started to say, you know, I have to decide whether or not I'm going to stay with this or if I'm going to make the jump over to 2024. I would like to make that jump, but unfortunately, due to hard drive limitations, I'm only going to be able to hold one of the two. I very much would like whatever one I have to be accurate and look good. So, I'm not sure. It's at 329. We're going to put this on 329. Bear with me here, folks. It's 330, 329. And we'll get to know when that takes off for Dayton, or when Dayton starts to reach. Oh, we got a message. What's our message say? Yeah, approaching VNAV profile. Okay. Anyways, so, like, this beautiful aircraft, and it really is a nice-looking aircraft, the Beech 18, right? Now, it's going to work in the next simulator. But as is with all new products, there's got to be a time where you got to work out kinks and bugs. Plus, the new simulator is very connection specific for things like landscape, because all of our stuff here is based on Bing Maps or Google Maps. I'm not sure which one I'm currently running. One of the two. Like, back over there, if I were to take off and go back over this way, about 10-15 miles, we would see a huge farm of windmills. There's like 200 and some over there. And because of the fact that the computer limits, it's limited to a single core of the processor, movement of things like that in the architecture, it slows things down. It uses up too many resources, and your simulators start to bog. So that's kind of the drawback here, or the drawback on the other side. On the new one, what it sounds like to me, and I might be wrong, but it sounds like the connection part is a little bit dependent. Let me bring those props back. We're running real high on RPMs. Right there seems to be pretty decent. Our manifold pressure is looking good at 30. That could probably go up to about there. Let's set that there. Manifold pressure of 34, RPMs of about 2350. We're incline profile, so I think that's okay. We're not losing any kind of airspeed, so we're good. So yeah, I would very much like to get the new simulator once it's good and it's been tested and we found the flaws and things like that. This simulator went through the same process. X-Plane 12 went through the same process, and 12 is a realistic goal as well. Right now, I have 11 on X-Plane and I love it. The flight models are so much better, but the visuals here. I know you're saying, Kyle, it's a bunch of checkerboard down there, but trust me, the graphics on this side of things are so much better. Like, I don't know where we'll come in, but I could show you a couple things. If I were to fly down 75 to Route 4 and come back up, I can show you that Big Red is sitting outside of Stebbins, if any of you know what that is. Big Red is our semi-trailer for the band, even though we don't use it anymore. It's sitting out there because the satellites have seen it, and it models it moderately accurate for what we're doing, which is kind of cool. Ouch. So having an accurate model of the country as you're flying VFR, it's very, very helpful, especially if you know the area you're flying in. So I'm interested to see. I probably won't buy it day one or download it day one because I got to figure out what's going to go, right? Am I going to keep Microsoft Flight Simulator 2020, or am I going to keep X-Plane 11? Because I only have 2 hard drives, and this is on my larger hard drive, but I don't have enough room to have it and the other, I don't think. It needs something like 55 gigs, I believe, is the minimum hard drive space. So we'll see. I would very much like to have a good, solid working simulator. And as you look at this one, you think, well, man, it's doing pretty good. But did you see that stutter there? I mean, I'm asking the computer to do a little bit here because not only am I flying, there's music playing, we're streaming. So my head tracker's, doing its thing. I haven't put a capture cam, pardon me, on because nobody wants to see my face. Trust me on that. But, I'm just kind of chilling here. I want to see, and my computer, while it's not top of the line, it's not the bottom of the line either. Let me make a quick click here, and alright, so we're coming up on Portland, which will be over here on our right. So if we go to here we are. I'm not spotting it yet, but let's go out here. I'm sure it's going to be easier to spot here. Should be over in that area, over in there somewhere. Still not seeing it. And see, this is why it is critical to have good architecture to be able to spot the things you need to spot. Because if I was looking for Portland Airport, which is, maybe 7 to 10 miles here off of, would be our nose off the right. If this modeling's not accurate, it's difficult to see it. perhaps perhaps that's it. I can't quite tell. No. Maybe that's it. That right there off my left, that looks kind of familiar. And that's because I believe that's St. Mary's Lake, which if that's the case, which means we're either in or almost in. I believe it's almost into Ohio. Yeah, that's St. Mary's right there. And off further in the distance, over there, right there, that's Indian Lake. So we are definitely going to crash if we continue this kind of pitching, and it's trying. So I'm going to have to try to bring us down. Level us off. I got to gain some airspeed. This is... Seems like there is a bug or something in this aircraft that does this every once in a while, and I have to be kind of up on it. Otherwise, if I don't, we'll stall. The aircraft will then start into a dive, which then becomes unrecoverable. Alright, I think we're pretty decent here. I think we've maybe take a moment or two. We'll shallow our climb out. I think it's more the headwind component that's being an issue. But yeah, that over there I believe to be Great Lake St. Mary's. I believe at this point, because we're past books, I think we are now in this wonderful Buckeye State of Ohio. Boy howdy. We're having a lot of difficulty climbing here. We still have another 1,000 feet to go. So 3 more minutes. I think we're catching a tremendous amount of headwind. You know what? Let's just go ahead and bring that down to 10,000 and call it a day. If air traffic control wants to holler at me for being at the wrong altitude. I'm not quite sure that I get why it's trying to... Oh, I see what the deal is. I see what's going on. The higher altitude, we were starving the... Our mixture was all wonky. We should start picking speed back up now. We could probably go ahead and climb up to 11,000 as we were assigned. Wasn't so much climb problem as it was the reduction of air into the motors, so therefore we were running really rich. So I'm having to lean out. Sorry, using the wrong controls here. Having to work with the mixture to keep the RPMs alive. Anyways, nav, get back on our course here. Higla's coming up momentarily. After Higla, our next thing we'll see is a waypoint called Rossi. Rossi will take us, after Rossi, it'll take us directly over the top of Darke County Airport, which is in Versailles, Ohio, the home of the Tigers, and the home of a really good photographer. Good old Captured by Kara. She's an old friend from high school, and she did my son's senior pictures. We've only gotten a sneak peek on those, so I'm hoping soon that Kara will be able to do it, but I'm not going to pressure her in any way. Kara's got a lot of work, and she had to take some time for her health, which is very important, and she is I believe, a 2-time double lung transplant recipient. And God love, first off, the donors and their families for allowing that to happen, and thank the Lord that Kara gets to spend more time with us and the world. And while we are not friends who see each other all the time, I know Kara was a wonderful human being in high school, and I doubt any of that has changed. So I certainly hope that she's doing well, and she'll get us taken care of on the pictures as soon as she can. That being said, Versailles, Ohio coming up here. We'll see it shortly. We're on profile now, which things are looking better. Picking up a little bit more of that wind. Thinking we're going to come up on 127, which I believe is this right here. 127 is kind of a main highway out here in this part of the state. We're at 11,000 feet. We're going to level off, which means we're going to pick up more speed. More airspeed anyways. Alright, so here at our 11 o'clock, that little town down there, well, that's Rushi, which is commonly mispronounced as Russia. It's Rushi, Ohio. Which means we should be coming up on Versailles right under our nose. And a small airport. I spy with my little eye. Right there. That's Darke County. I used to drive up this road to see a girlfriend when I was in high school. So I know that to be true. So there's Darke County. I'm sorry, so that's Versailles there. And then, oh yeah, so that's Versailles. And then over here is Rushi. And then further over there is this beautiful town of Piqua. I have to say it that way because a guy that I work with says it all the time. It's Piqua. Alright, so we are likely getting close to top of descent because we are, let's go ahead and switch our nav radio over now and see how close we are to DQN. We're 13 miles to DQN. After that, I don't know if our radio's working or not. Wonder if I switch tune on to.
Beechcraft November tree 20 Sierra Mike departure altimeter 30
I don't know what that was about, but
continue to burn.
okay.
Beechcraft 0 Sierra Mike contact Indianapolis Center on
Suddenly the
135.125.
air traffic control caught up with us. Oh.
135.125 Beechcraft 0 Sierra Mike.
135.125.
Indianapolis Center, Beechcraft November, tree 20 Sierra, Mike 11,000 feet.
Beechcraft November, tree 20 Sierra Mike, Indianapolis Center altimeter 30.29 radar contact. Continue to Delta Quebec November. Beechcraft 0 Sierra Mike, you are 21 miles northwest. Descend and maintain 3,000 feet. Expect ILS runway 6 left approach via Delta Quebec November transition. Clear to Delta Quebec November.
Descend and maintain 3,000 feet. Expect ILS runway 6 left approach via Delta Quebec November transition. Clear to Delta Quebec November Beechcraft 0 Sierra Mike.
Just getting my flight plan reference in here. Alright. So we're now heading down to 3,000 feet. That's the approach altitude. And we're dropping at about, I'm going to set it to about 900 feet per minute. Which means we've got about 8 minutes to get there, which is probably not long enough. So that being said, I'm going to pull the throttles back a little bit to try to slow us down. Bleed off a little bit of the speed. Unfortunately, it's one thing about this aircraft that does really well, and that is speed. We are now at 10,000 feet, so we're going to look down here and we're going to go ahead and put the landing lights out, because that's usually where we do that. Plus, that'll give us a little bit of additional drag. Let's take a look. See if they're out on the front of this beast. And look at that, they are. They've come down and they're out. So we're doing good. We're plenty of time here because we have to go out on the ILS approach, which means we're going to go down DQ in here. We're going to hang a right and go off that way. And then we'll go to another waypoint down there. We're going to hang another right. So I think we're going to be alright here. By the time we get flipped around, I think we'll be just fine. So the approach is the ILS 6 white with the DQ in transition, which means we're going to go to Bruni after DQ in. Yep, I got to activate the approach. Alright, so I've activated the approach now. That's Dayton right there in front of us. But we're not where we need to be, so we're going to make a right-hand turn here to get back over to our assigned course. Whoa! Maintaining this descent. Oh, I'm going to shallow it up a little bit. I want to be right there at that 900. Wait till our course deviation needle starts moving. which it should here soon. I'm going to go ahead and bring this in a little bit. Alright, so off to Bruni now. Still losing altitude. We are down, I hope. Nope, we're going to go. I started to had shut off the descent somehow. I'm not sure how I did that, but yeah, we'll work it out.
Alpha contact, Indianapolis Center on 123.925. Good day.
I'm going to go ahead and put a little bit more on this descent here.
123.925 generic for Whiskey Alpha. Goodbye. United 728 contact, Indianapolis Center on 120.475. Good day.
Okay, we're turning to the outbound course now. Go out here and make a turn.
120.475.
Allows us more time to lose this altitude, which I think we'll be fine with. Run out here and do a quick... Oh, there's outer marker. Which means we are in fact close to the airport. Oh, shoot. Wow. I believe Bruni is 5 miles. So we were on 5 mile on the outbound out here. We're going to go flip around. Dump a little more altitude here. Trying to do it without picking up a bunch of speed. See what we can do. I don't want to overspeed the aircraft, which is we are flirting with right now. We're just above the, or just below the yellow arc, which is overspeed. All right, we're gonna turn right to 286 in 7 seconds. Making the turn will help bleed off a little bit of speed. And you got to be careful making big power adjustments on radials. They don't care for it. Now, I don't have the Denarc mod on this yet, but I'm going to work on that. I'm going to put it on and sit there and work with it. Right now my temperatures don't look terrible. Alright, we're at 4,000. We're taking a big dive here, and we're going to be at 3,000 in no time, which will get us where we want to be, but in that situation, we have to start adding power back in when we level off, because we'll start losing airspeed. Alright, here we go. Alright, we're coming around now. Which means soon we'll get a clearance. We'll need to drop another 300 feet because at Bruni we want to be at 2,700 for this profile. Coming on that around on the 10-mile mark. We'll be able to see the runway direct ahead of us when we turn to 061. I see it already. Now it's up behind the corner over here. As we come around, you're going to see it right there. Here, Dayton, you got to be careful because there's 06 left and 06 right. We are on 06 left. That's that one. There's 06 right. But we're now on profile. We're also going to start bleeding speed down. Alright, we are on profile here on final approach into Dayton. Our home base for 3W Airways.
Beechcraft 0 Sierra Mike, you are 9er miles southwest of Dayton. Contact Dayton Tower on 119er.9er when inbound on the approach.
Tower on 119er.9er, Beechcraft 0 Sierra Mike. Dayton Tower Beechcraft, November, Tree 20 Sierra Mike, 8 miles southwest inbound ILS runway 6 left approach.
Beechcraft November, Tree 20 Sierra Mike, Dayton Tower. Altimeter Tree 0.29er, wind 116 at 11. Cleared ILS runway 6 left approach.
Cleared ILS runway 6 left approach, Beechcraft 0 Sierra Mike.
Beechcraft 0 Sierra Mike, wind 116 at 11. Cleared to land runway 6 left.
Cleared to land runway 6 left, Beechcraft 0 Sierra Mike.
Here on our right, just off our nose, I can't see if I can point it here. This is Inglewood Dam. It's kind of cool. Never really took this approach to see that before. That's what I'm talking about that modeling, is be able to see certain features that tell you where you are. All right. full flaps. I'm trying to slow this old girl down so the gear will come down. There we go. Now we're getting there. As you can see, one wheel, then the other. And now the tail coming down. Alright. Here we go. We're going to put her in. See, there's those stutters I'm talking about. Alright, so we're going to slip in here. We've got a hell of a crosswind. About a quartering crosswind, which is about right for Dayton. So you have to kind of fly crooked. And then at the very end, you have to tell the plane to straighten up and fly right. Get on center line. Get on center line. Wind is just terrible today. Oof. It's pushing me everywhere. Sorry, folks, for the bumpy ride.
121.9er, Beechcraft 0 Sierra Mike. Goodbye.
Alright. Bring up all that stuff. We're gonna make this churn coming up here. Alright. All I have to do is actually...
Dayton Ground, Beechcraft, November, Tree 20 Sierra, Mike taxi to the gate.
Beechcraft, November, Tree 20 Sierra, Mike taxi to gate 9 or 8 using taxiway Bravo Foxtrot.
Taxiing to gate 9 or 8 using taxiway Bravo Foxtrot, Beechcraft 0 Sierra Mike.
It might help to do that. Because then, oh look! The aircraft turned so much better here. Bravo. Here we are at Bravo. Into Frank. Alright, parking brakes are set. And we can go ahead and kill this. And that's going to do our charter flight for the day. And we had a 220 foot per minute touchdown, which is a little heavier than I like, but we were definitely fighting some parameters that were just killing me. And the flight has been completed here at James H. Cock Dayton International. Appreciate you flying along with us today here at 3W Airways. And we will see you next time. Don't know what just happened there. Oh, it's the return flight. Nope, we're not going to do that today. Anyways, thank you very much. Have a good evening, good afternoon, good day, goodbye.